All right, we're back with episode 11 of IcoPod. I'm Bob Conley Jr., and with me, as always, is Austin Skinner.
Hey, Bob.
Why do you do that?
What do you mean?
One time it's like, oh, I'm the best person you know, or favorite person I know. And then sometimes it's just, hey.
Because I don't need to remind you every show.
Right. Okay. Today's episode might be a little emotional for me. I won't get into it because Austin's a dick. By the time this is released, everybody will probably know why, personal friends and stuff like that. I just want to say right now, Austin, I hate you. And, yeah.
You know what? I thought we were going to be bigger people.
You know what? I was thinking about it, but then you were, like, laughing at me, and then you were saying some real mean things to me off the air right before I hit record, and then I said, fuck this, I'm going to put you on blast.
All I do is say nice things about you, and you're just constantly mean to me.
No, it's bullshit. You listen to my advice in your personal life, and then within a week, it just changes.
And slaps you right in the face.
You know, like, I should have kept my fucking mouth shut.
Right.
And then maybe you would just be like, you know what, I'm going to just stay comfortable, right, and not, like, go and aspire my dreams. So, you know, I guess on some level I should be like, wow, I really helped this kid out, but then, like, the greedy part of me is like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, damn it.
And in my mind, I'm like, I really hope that this kind of cuts IcoPod off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, right now I kind of feel betrayed.
Like, this is my way out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
We made it 11 episodes.
That's a fucking milestone.
You know, with every joke, though, there's a little bit of truth. So, really? You wanted to cut out IcoPod?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll find a new manager. I'll find my Jimmy Hart.
You can suck on it.
Whatever. I wasn't really anticipating going into a rant like that. Usually it's not so abrasive and angry, but you're witnessing the demise of the Mega Maniacs iPod edition. We've imploded.
The self-destruction.
The self-destruction.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm not going to discuss it legitimately on the air, but Austin...
I got some good news.
You got some good news, yes.
Which is nice, but again, jokes aside,
right? I
do not plan to stop IcoPod anytime soon.
You don't plan on it, just like how Terry Funk never plans to come out of retirement.
Well, he does plan that.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to call and get the booking. And
well, yeah, he's got to accept it.
Right.
Okay. That's a bad example. Wow, so we've wasted about 3.5 minutes on...
It's your fault.
My heartbreak. You know, what? No, I'm just emotional.
It's better than talking about Tatanka.
That cut. That cut deep. Okay, so this time around here on IcoPod, we don't really have a Raw, per se, to talk about. Instead, we have a special edition.
Yeah.
A special telecast. It was the March of WrestleMania 9. Before we get on to that, though, I gotta rewind here.
You're flabbergasted.
I'm off center.
Yeah.
You can check us out on IcoPod on Facebook. Wow. Check us out on Facebook at IcoPod. And you can send us an email at icopodcast@gmail.com, whether it's comments, feedback, whichever. People are actually doing that, which is kind of surprising me. And then there's, you can message us on Facebook or leave comments, which, as we'll note here shortly, that's been happening as well. So, as everybody knows, we tape 2 episodes at a time. So, Austin and I guess we watched March WrestleMania 9 and then the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 9 will be next week's episode.
Correct.
You want to share your story on that? Because I think it's kind of funny.
I'm glad you get enjoyment out of it, because as it is right now, I'm running on about 4 hours of sleep because I stupidly... So when I sit and watch these shows, I really take my time, and I'll sit there and I'll pause and write and watch and pause and write and watch and pause and write. So obviously it's going to take me a little bit longer than the normal run time of the shows, and that goes for whether it's a Raw or a pay-per-view. That's kind of how I watch for this stuff, because I really don't want to miss anything, especially again because it's my first watch through for a lot of this stuff. Not necessarily WrestleMania 9, but a lot of the stuff we've been going through. So long story short, last night I got to sleep probably around 3 a.m. and had to be up for work at 7:20. Running on fumes today, but I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Wow. Okay, your sarcasm's appreciated. Also, well, that's funny how you do it, because I just watch it and write.
Yeah,
I'll just blow.
Yeah,
right
you do
through
the
it.
normal way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I miss something, you're there to tell me because you've paused it already.
I'm glad I jump on the knife for you. That's awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, well, you're putting knives somewhere else too, in my back. No. So before we get into all our little March to WrestleMania 9 stuff, of course, there's some observer notes, reader feedback, and then a house show too that I want to talk about. So observer notes is, so far, 13,000 tickets have been sold for WrestleMania. This is the week of March 28th, so about a week out.
Yeah, that's... Well, because what's the capacity? 16 or something?
I think it's more than that.
More than that?
Yeah. So that the attendance is close to like 17. What they end up getting is like almost 17.
Oh, that's the announced attendance, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, so you're saying it could
So
be
that's
inflated.
a gimmick.
Yeah,
that's a gimmick.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Razor Ramon has a major staph infection in his knee, but he'll be working WrestleMania 9 regardless.
He just can't get that knee right.
Well, somebody's not taking care of it. So he had a staph infection.
Yeah.
WWF Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels will be defending the title against Jeff Jarrett at a USWA show on March 29th, which would be, I guess, the Monday of what Raw would be.
Great.
To test out his injured shoulder. He hasn't been seen in over a month on television doing anything. The Harris brothers have signed a contract with the WWF. I tend to... I'm right there with you on that sound effect. Repo Man is done, and he'll be selling car alarms. It's kind of ironic.
You gotta be shitting me.
No.
You made that up.
Swear to God. So Berserker selling cars, and now Repo Man is selling car alarms. They should work together.
Open up a shop.
Yeah, what are they waiting for?
These deals are berserk, brother.
Whoa. What's mine is mine. What's yours is mine too. Like, okay. Big Boss Man has signed on with All Japan. He won't be going by Boss Man though. Instead, he'll be known as Big Bubba Rogers, which was his name or gimmick prior to WWF.
I can't say that I'll miss him.
You're not a Big Boss Man guy?
Not at all. No, not at all.
I've always liked him. Reader feedback.
Uh-oh, I'm scared.
Yeah, well, it's all caps, really angry.
Figures.
Yeah, no, it's from Mike Campbell, one of my wrestling buds.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, he's been pretty supportive of the IcoPod podcast.
Hell yeah.
So he has some comments regarding our episode 5. So just to give you an idea of how far we tape in advance, we're not getting to this until now.
And let me tell you, right off the bat, I am not single. So, I am taken.
What? Why is he hitting you up?
I don't know, but
Okay.
if that's what the questions are going to turn into here, Bob, for anybody, I am taken.
He does ask Austin, "What's your favorite food?" With a wink face. I don't.
Bananas.
Okay, so no, we're kidding, Mike. You're all good with us. He talks about Pearl Harbor. We mentioned how Jerry Lawler on commentary was like, "Oh, you Pearl Harbored him."
Yeah.
Mike wants to let us know that it's a pretty common description within the WWF. He recalls several times when Monsoon would use the phrase, and Gorilla's pretty much the anti-Lawler. I want to say I would think you would as well. Like, I've heard that as well, the phrase, but it's just the timing of it.
The timing and you know, kind of what the backstory of the match was.
Yeah.
With the Japanese, and I just, not to make an excuse for it, but again, it's a different time. So you got to take that into consideration. But looking back on it now, stuff like that, comments like that, just don't age well to me. And I think most people would agree with that. But yeah, I mean, I understand that's kind of a common phrase that they throw around. But
yeah, but I think it's different though. If let's say Sergeant Slaughter, well, I guess this is kind of a
or Rick Martel jumped Marty Jannetty and he Pearl Harbored him.
Yeah,
that's
on
different.
Wrestling Challenge.
Right. That's
meanwhile Yokozuna is Pearl Harboring Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Japanese, it's the whole. So I don't think that's what we were kind of saying. It's just surprising that they would do it
in that context. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yokozuna definitely speaks English, even from a kayfabe point of view, which is interesting because I don't remember him ever saying anything in English.
Well, no, but I mean, I don't know. Even if I'm a kid, do I believe he speaks English?
Well, he points out in the Coliseum video release of the 1993 Royal Rumble, it shows Yokozuna going down the aisle after he had won the match, and he's yelling out WrestleMania.
Well, that's a show name, though.
Yeah, but it's English.
Yeah, but any Japanese person knows WrestleMania. There's no word. There's no Japanese word for WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Look it up.
Not to mention he's, what, Samoan? Hawaiian?
Samoan, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one.
So you're not buying it? You still think kayfabe-wise he doesn't know English?
I would think so.
That's how I'm taking it.
Hey, actually, you know what? Maybe not because...
Mr. Fuji barely knows English.
Yeah, but he still speaks it, and kind of Yoko responds to it, I think.
Oh, that's true. So maybe...
You know?
Well, he understands it,
English.
not necessarily
Okay.
speak it.
All right. I'll give him that one.
Right. I know, yeah. I can see both sides of it. Mike tells us that we totally nailed it in regards to the syndicated shows, that WWS bread and butter was still Superstars and Challenge, and out of the cable shows, Raw was definitely the number one over Mania and All American. But it wasn't until 95 into 96 that Raw truly became the flagship show. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got to look here. Really, all of 94, it's all just very transitional. And we said that the first episode, that it just feels very transitional. It's a weird time for the company right now. So, I guess, yeah, it was weird because, again, I haven't seen a lot of this. So to think of Raw not being the show is weird to me. But I'm starting to get used to it and understand kind of how the layout works. But yeah, I think that's a good point.
And I think it's a good point of what he's mentioning, the time frame here, but you also have to take into consideration that by 95 into 96, they have significant amount of opposition.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
With what WCW ends up doing.
Yeah.
So that would probably be why it turned into more flagship show. And he just says, keep up the good work, guys. So I guess at least one person that likes us.
Hey, we'll take it. Thanks, Mike Campbell.
Yeah, he's been sharing the word about it, so
kick ass.
It's much appreciated. We'll hear from him as well in next week's episode.
Good.
House show notes: there were two shows that took place on March 28th, considering that this one was taped the March to WrestleMania 8. It's not, or WrestleMania 9. It's not a live show. There is one in Kingston, Ontario. Brooklyn Brawler took on Jim Powers, Virgil, and Reno Riggins. Steiner Brothers against the Beverly Brothers, which has been going on now for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund and Damian Demento. Tatanka versus Doink. Kamala against one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions IRS. And The Undertaker versus Yokozuna.
I think it's pretty easy for me to say here that I probably would have skipped that show.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything on this one. I mean, Taker, like we've mentioned before, Taker, Yoko, sure. Then aside Tatanka, Doink, maybe. Maybe, and then maybe if you haven't seen a lot of Steiner's, Beverly's, I guess.
Yeah. But other than that, it's real bare bones on that one.
Yeah, for sure. On the same day, Los Angeles, California Sports Arena, WWF had another show here. Skinner took on Coco Beware, Typhoon against Repo Man, the Nasty Boys against the Head Shrinkers, Randy Savage battled Giant Gonzalez in singles action, Tito Santana against Luis Piccoli, Crush battled Papa Shango, who was a substitute for Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels, and in the main event, WWF World Champion Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect fought Razor Ramon and Lex Luger.
They've been doing that kind of tandem mix-up for main events quite a few times now.
Yeah, for most of March, I think.
Yeah. I still, though, you know what? It's not a great show. I mean, you know, you're probably going to go because you got most of the stars on there at this time. But yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with the house shows as of late. I feel like they're kind of... Well, then again, that's kind of the deal, but they're sticking to their guns a little bit more than I would like them to. Like, we're moving into WrestleMania.
I was just going to say, it's WrestleMania season, and these are the shows they're giving us. If I had to choose, though, I'd have to go to Los Angeles.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going with the second one as well.
Nasty Boys, Head Shrinkers, Savage, Gonzalez, just because what the hell.
Interesting.
Just the sight of that.
Yeah.
And then the main event,
I
guess. So you got, 3 matches, really, Nasty Boys and Head Shrinker, Savage, Gonzalez, and the tag main event. Yeah. Crush and Papa Shango, of course, as well.
Of course, Papa Shango,
Can't go on that. The March 27th edition of Superstars and I guess this was also aired on Wrestling Challenge, so on both days, March 27th and 28th,
Right.
there was a contract signing between WWF World Champion Bret Hart and Yokozuna. Mm-hmm. We won't discuss that right now because we'll get into pretty quickly into the March WrestleMania. You got any reaction to what I've provided there? Not much.
Yes. As far as Repo Man, they must have been listening to us, because that dude needed to be gone months ago. So, thank God they're shipping his ass out.
Well, he clearly stopped even caring.
Oh, yeah.
Physique-wise, he gave up.
Oh, yeah. So that's good. I think we got steps in the right direction.
What do you think about Shawn Michaels against Jeff Jarrett?
I can't even imagine that at this time.
It's definitely a USWA show.
So it's got to be 180 from what WWF's putting out. I mean, it's got to feel real weird.
Well, it's significantly Southern.
Well, so if you're a regular WWF fan and you happen to stumble across that on a channel somewhere, you're like, what the hell is this?
Well, I mean, if you're in Memphis, maybe not 93, USWA may not be huge.
Yeah.
But it's a well-known regional.
Local.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, Shawn Michaels. Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, I would check that. I'm a pretty big...
I'd watch it.
I like Jeff Jarrett.
Do you? See, I don't know.
A lot of people don't like Jeff Jarrett. So, I don't know. I feel
he had maybe a good 2-year run out of his career.
Really?
Yeah.
No way. I think he gets a lot of bad flack because he put himself over a lot when he was the head guy.
Yeah, but I don't even judge him for that. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit quick.
Okay.
Do you think Jeff Jarrett deserves his Hall of Fame induction?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
I don't.
Really?
Yeah. I don't. WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that encompasses they encompass everything.
Well, WCW and all that, but
because with that logic, it's well, why is Goldberg in it?
I agree.
I
wouldn't have put him in it.
More than half the guys that are in this
Hall
of Fame, I wouldn't even put him in there.
Yeah, well,
right. I mean, Sting would be in there, but I'm saying Mark Henry just recently, I think today or yesterday got announced. I wouldn't put Mark Henry in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just doing, hey, do you remember this guy?
Right.
Hey, do you remember Coco Beware? Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Hall of Fame.
Right. Can we sell some shirts to him? Okay.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there's a couple of years where I do enjoy Jeff Jarrett and think he was a very big bonus to the shows, but...
My favorite version of him is Chosen One. WCW.
Oh, it better be.
Yeah.
Because what else you picking?
Well, it's either that or he beats up women.
Or fucking he wears light up cowboy
hats.
That's
pretty good stuff too, though.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Ain't I great? JEFF. JAEET. JoJo.
Oh shit.
I can't wait.
See where this is going.
I can't wait for him to debut. What's gonna happen here?
You can see where this is going.
Yeah. So coming out of that, we go right to March to WrestleMania 9. Took place on March 28th, 1993. Taped show, of course. I believe it was taped March 7th.
Oh wow.
There's a stupid ad for March to WrestleMania 9, which I almost included into the podcast this evening, but the audio sound of it was just a little too grainy. Wasn't really sound that great. And it featured the likes of Shawn Michaels, Tatanka, Mr. Perfect, and Crush to promote the special.
Is it me or does the promos all rhyme together?
Maybe.
I think they rhyme on every last word.
I didn't notice that.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it definitely just came across really corny.
Absolutely.
I don't know why they're...
Doesn't transition well to 2018.
No. Not at all. We go right... Do we go right into footage from the contract signing? Because that's what I got.
Well, yeah, and I just, starting out right off the top, I really wish wrestling specials like this haven't died out in this day and age, because not knowing what I'm going into, I was excited to watch this. After all, at this time, I feel like they're very effective in hyping the shows that they're trying to hype up, and I hoped this one was going to be no different. But I was tuning into this. I was like, all right, it finally felt like we're getting into WrestleMania now. This is the hype up show. Hopefully it's going to be really good. And then hopefully WrestleMania 9 ends up, when I rewatch it, being really good.
Yeah, this definitely needs to have heavy promotion on several feuds. Going into it.
Specifically the angles. Yes, specifically.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping for.
That's what I was hoping for, too. And, of course, some good wrestling.
Of course.
But there has to be... I was hoping for something that leading into WrestleMania 9
Right.
we would be like, oh shit,
Might be
I
a
wanna
deciding factor.
Yeah,
you know.
because I would be taking this as this is our last ditch effort to get people to buy this show.
Exactly.
How can we get them to buy it?
Exactly.
So we'll see. I guess where we both end up with that.
Right.
My first notes here is that we see footage from the contract signing where Yokozuna rammed the table into Bret Hart's midsection and ended up hitting the Banzai drop. Bobby Heenan notes on commentary that he hopes Yokozuna doesn't actually hurt Bret because then there wouldn't be a match. So Yokozuna wouldn't be able to win the WWF World Championship.
Right.
Bret Hart tries to get to his feet and actually manages to get to his feet after a brief little struggle there. Yokozuna is eventually escorted out of the ring, kind of surprised that Bret got up. And Bret struggles to his feet with the WWF World Championship in hand. From what they showed, I thought this was pretty effective in the sense of making Bret maybe the underdog that can overcome it. So maybe you're going into like, oh, well, Yokozuna's just going to destroy him. Instead, it's, all right, he took the Banzai, but then he got up. No one else has really gotten up that quick.
Right. I hated it.
Really?
I didn't like it at all.
Why?
So... all right, so the face-off is intense, and again, Bret shows that he's not afraid to step up to Yokozuna, which is good. You need that. He's the champion. We need to know that as the fans. And of course, things never change. You got a contract signing. It's going to get physical, and of course it does. So I was expecting that. And it was nice to see that the crowd was genuinely kind of scared for Bret. After he was getting attacked, he was like selling the leg pretty good, and really kind of conveying it like he might get injured right here before WrestleMania. So in that sense, I liked it. But as far as the segment overall, again, don't get me wrong. I think it showed that, Bret's got heart and he's a fighting champion. But having him fall back down while Yoko's still there. And so if I'm booking, I show Bret's heart and determination of a fighting champion by... not only Bret maybe standing back up, not falling back to his knees, and maybe jumping at Yoko, like out of desperation to show, I'm not scared of you. So I'm going to jump on you for a pull apart.
After taking the Banzai?
After taking the Banzai. Not only does he stand up and stand back up to Yokozuna, he's just going to say, I'm a desperate man at this point. I'm going to just jump on you and try to fight you right here. I'm sick of this. I'm not going to go in as the underdog. That's how I would have done it. Because when Bret falls back down, it's kind of like,
Yeah, it's like the hero in movies.
Yeah,
I won't give up. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm good again.
Yeah, but by then Yoko was already out of the ring. He doesn't look tough. Yoko's gone. He missed his chance to stand up and look tough. It's like a Rocky movie when Rocky gets knocked out and stands back up and ends up winning the fight. It's like Rocky doesn't get knocked out, the guy leaves, and then Rocky stands up. He's like, I want to fight you. Like, what?
Well, he definitely gets up with Yoko still in the ring.
He does, but then he falls back down. And then Yoko leaves, and then he holds up the belt after Yoko's already gone. I don't like that.
Right, I can see your point, but I enjoyed it. I thought
I
It gives that false hope, maybe, that Bret can do it.
I think it was a missed opportunity to show that Bret is willing to fight through the pain to keep his championship. And I thought it was kind of lackluster for a contract signing, to be honest with you. Either go one way or the other with it. Either have Yoko, again, get the better of Bret. Well, really, we haven't seen him get the better of Bret at all, but drop the Banzai, leave Bret laying. Or, on the flip side, have Bret get up and do what he can to try to get at Yokozuna. And show Yokozuna, because he really hasn't at this point, that he's not scared of him. He's the champ, and he's going to show you why he's the champ. It's kind of an in-between here with this. And I don't know. I wish they would have just went all or nothing.
I mean, going into it, I definitely thought Yoko was just going to take him out.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting Bret to get up again.
No. I mean, I don't think the fans were either. But that's just me looking back 20 years and thinking, At the time, I'm sure, because, again, nobody stands up from the Banzai drop, so it is a big moment.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's an effective thing. So then the fans
I
are like, okay, Bret, okay, maybe he can do it.
Yeah. But, I mean, just looking back, like, again, if I'm booking, which... that's a scary thought. But that's what I would have had Bret do. I would have kind of put Bret over more and gave him more credit than just falling back down and waiting for Yoko to leave before holding the belt up.
Okay. I mean, I can see that point, but I don't know if I would want him to attack my monster heel.
They're not attack, but kind of be held apart by officials. That way it kind of sets up heat. Right now, what's the heat? Yoko hit him with a table and bonsai'd him.
And he won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but like...
And he kind of ignored him when Bret was saying, I'll see you at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's pretty offensive. That's a pretty personal thing.
Whatever, Bob.
All right. Vince McMahon and Bobby Heenan are on commentary, and they promote the Yoko-Bret match at WrestleMania. Heenan thinks that Yokozuna could smash Bret's ribs if he really wanted to. He'll break Bret's ribs at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yokozuna will be in action tonight against Randy Savage. Bobby Heenan thinks that Savage was paid off by Bret Hart, which he got through his sources.
Yeah, he says, so Bobby says, Savage has been paid off by Bret to hurt Yoko tonight, but he doesn't believe Savage will be able to get the job done. So he buries him kind of twice there, that he's getting paid off and he's probably not going to complete his goal. So classic Bobby. Always love that. Really quick, too, I want to note that Vince here says that regardless of any possible injuries suffered by Bret Hart, he will be defending the championship at WrestleMania. And I thought that was a nice touch, because that kind of leaves it in question. Is Bret going to be 100%?
Is he hurt?
Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen? So it puts him in even more danger, which I thought was a nice touch. So
that leads us to our first match on the night. It is Randy Savage taking on Yokozuna. And I must say, I'm pretty surprised they're starting off the show with Savage Yoko.
Yeah, so was I.
It's got. I would have to think, because going into it, we don't know what we're seeing.
Right.
I didn't look anything up.
Right.
This has easily got to be the biggest match on the program.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not. I might not be inclined to, I guess, tune in afterwards. Well, after this match, what else am I really tuning in to see?
Well, and I was just thinking, so if I'm a huge, major Savage fan, which I am, so are you, and I'm going to this show live, and I see my favorite guy in the first match, and we'll talk about what happens, but after I see that, I could probably beat the traffic and head home.
What, you talking about in the audience?
Yeah.
I was talking about if I'm just watching at home.
Oh, easily.
If I'm watching on TV, I'm like, oh, okay, I got that, and I'm going to go watch something else.
Yeah, easily. Well, because I think, was this one of the only matches that was even promoted for this card?
Yes, it was this match. Okay, so we did know a couple things. So this match was promoted, and so was Undertaker Bigelow.
Right.
I believe were the only featured matches promoted.
Right.
So I take that back. We did know that this was happening.
But this is the bigger of the two.
Oh, 100%.
So, like you said, if you're watching this, something else is coming on, you got a baseball game to watch, you're turning that on.
Yeah.
You're watching this match and you're switching it. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. The match starts off with Savage trying to fake out Yoko with a jab, and Yoko doesn't even budge. He's just looking at Savage like, really, dude?
Yeah.
Yoko shows his size advantage by not budging on anything Savage does. So it's pretty much like shoulder blocks or anything along those lines. Yoko dumps Savage over the top of the floor to send Macho into the post shoulder first. Yoko also sends Savage into the steps face first. They head back into the ring where Savage fights back with strikes to stagger Yoko, but is cut off by a throat thrust. Yoko comes off the ropes with a leg drop. Yoko misses a running back splash in the corner, and Savage heads to the top rope to hit a double axe handle, which Yoko drops to a knee. And Savage hit him from behind. Savage gets jabbed off by Mr. Fuji when he's on top rope. Heenan thinks that Savage slipped and blames his monitor.
Well, yeah, he goes. Yeah, he goes. Oh, there must have been something fuzzy on my monitor because I missed that.
Yeah.
So.
Heenan cracks me up sometimes.
Oh, I know.
From there, so Savage drops to the canvas, and then Yoko grabs Macho Man and hits a belly-to-belly suplex for the win. I don't think I was expecting the belly-to-belly suplex to be the finish.
To pin Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even. Is his belly-to-belly suplex like his secondary finisher? I kind of took it.
It's gotta be.
I would take the leg drop.
Really?
As a secondary.
Oh, well, yeah, because when he hits that, he pins him after a lot. Like, that's usually... Because I feel like lately he's been using the bonsai as kind of an after-match thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to drop that on you, too.
Well, my thing is, so you use a belly-to-belly suplex.
Right.
Not all of his weight is crashing down onto his opponent.
Not even, I'd say maybe not even half.
Yeah. But with a leg drop, it's his entire body.
Yeah.
You know, crushing a guy's face.
Although, really, what looks more spectacular? A leg drop or a damn good belly-to-belly?
Well, that's fair, but I think the visual of a leg drop is better for
Yeah,
Yoko, just because he's such a large man.
No, I agree.
He
So
might
yeah,
not
I'd
be-
give you that the leg drop's probably, if not primary, definitely secondary. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird that it's weird. I almost thought that maybe they went a little long and were kind of getting cut down
Russian?
on time. Yeah.
That may be true. Well, for sure though, the Bonza drop is the finisher. I don't want people thinking that.
No,
we don't
yeah,
think.
yeah.
That is for sure the finishing move he's using.
Right.
It just seems as if.
Lately, he's been using that as like a nail in the coffin type of deal.
Yeah, and maybe for, I don't want to say bigger matches because this is a pretty big match.
No,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
He's not overusing it. Let's put it.
Yeah,
that
he's
way.
not just using it just to use it. He's saving it.
Exactly.
As for the match, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't think I was really thinking that Savage was going to make it an overly competitive match.
I kind of had the same inclining, and I'll just start right from the beginning. So Yoko makes his way to the ring to unanimous boos. So compared to what we see in the Manhattan Center, when sometimes we'll see Yoko pro signs in the crowd.
Right.
So that was good. Geishas are waiting in the ring. The announcers are calling him the number one contender at the time when wrestling was still portrayed as a contest, for all intents and purposes. And you know what? It's so weird because I'm sitting here and I'm watching this. Watching Yoko come out, hearing his music, seeing the response of the crowd. And I kind of just got a newfound respect for the whole era at this point. And it's kind of taken me a couple weeks, but especially with Yoko, he's one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most effective heels of the modern era of wrestling. And I have no problem saying that. I think he seals my spot as probably my favorite big guy in the company history. And again, I have no problem saying that. After watching this built up so well and how, effectively Yoko's been built here, he comes across as like an athletic marvel, and it's a hard case to argue. I mean, they really haven't done any wrong with Yoko this whole time, which is awesome. I think he's very underrated.
Well, I don't know if they haven't done anything wrong. Because the whole Duggan thing, you didn't like when he had to use the salts and stuff like that, the cheap nature of it.
All right,
And
so
in this
scratch
one,
that.
And in this
I
match,
agree.
Fuji having to essentially pop off Savage off the top rope.
Yeah, but I don't think that hurts Yoko. I don't, because he's not doing it.
But he needs continued help. And he's your monster heel.
Yeah, but I mean that's Fuji though.
Why wouldn't they just have Savage come off the top going for a double axe handle, which I would imagine was he was going to do.
Yeah.
So instead of having Fuji knock him off, why doesn't Yoko just catch Randy and hit the belly to suplex and win?
Well, you could, but maybe because it's Randy Savage. I don't know.
Really? I mean, I can
don't
see
know.
it. Why? But why are you protecting an announcer, a commentator?
Yeah, but he's more than that here still.
Yeah,
He
but
still
that's
is.
that's all he's done. He's not even on WrestleMania 9, for Christ's sakes.
know,
For
but
Christ's
he's
sakes.
he's still more than just an announcer, and they're positioning him in that way. This is a featured match. If Randy Savage was just an announcer, this would not be a featured match, and it is.
No, I know, but that's how they're utilizing him so far.
I know.
3 or 4, 3 months into the year.
I know, but still,
He could take a clean job here. Randy Savage.
No, he could.
100%.
No, he could. He could.
Yeah, 100%.
I still stand by the fact that, I think Yoko's supremely underrated, and historically, this is one of the best build-ups for a guy that I can remember.
Well, I think he might be underrated because his run is relatively short.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if he comes in say October of 92, in terms of being a main event guy,
Right.
it's from October of 92 until March of 94.
Right. Right.
When he's challenging for the world title.
Yeah.
Now, there's times after that where on Raw he might fight whoever
Yeah.
in his feud with Taker and stuff like
His
that.
tag team stuff.
With Owen and stuff. Right. But I think in the grand scheme of things as a main guy, it's basically almost like 2 years combined.
Yeah, but I still even think people still underestimate him as a main guy. And I don't. I fully buy it. Completely. I don't know. I think Yoko was very good business for the WWF at this point.
I mean, I personally like Yoko. But I don't know if I would necessarily want him as my monster. I don't know. Like we talked about before, like Vader. Like Vader was supposed to go. I would rather take Vader than Yokozuna.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think with the options that they had, and even, I think, put it this way, I think Yoko's easier to hate as a heel than Vader, because Vader still does cool-ass shit, and he's a badass.
That's true.
Yoko's just a guy you want to hate because he's fucking killing all these young, small, little guys, and he's a foreigner, and you don't understand him, and he doesn't respect Bret Hart, and you don't really know too much of him, where Vader's got an extensive background. It's easy to hate Yoko, and I think that's something that is very hard to get across, and I think he does an awesome job of that.
I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
That Vader does like the moonsaults and shit like
right.
that. So
Like
like, wow, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, he's a jerk, but damn, he does some cool moves.
That's a fair point.
Yoko just goes out and whoops people's ass. And it's not like he's flashy about it. It's very basic stuff, very slow pace, but it's impactful, and you can't really cheer him from squishing a 150-pound guy under his ass.
Yeah.
No, So I don't know. And I don't know why during this entrance of all time, but it just hit me. I was like, holy shit. You know what? Yokozuna is very underappreciated, I think, historically. Whether his run was 2 years or 2 months, I think it's a very notable, noteworthy run, I think.
Well, he's definitely underappreciated, and at a time when WWF kind of needed that fresh heel,
yeah,
he was definitely utilized pretty well.
Right.
So in terms of the actual match, that sums it up. But there is an aftermath, and that is Savage avoiding the bonsai drop by managing to roll out of the way. Savage knee lifts Yoko to the floor from behind. Yoko tries to get back in the ring, but Fuji stops him along with several officials.
Yep. And I have here too. You know what? Another thing about Yoko is he's the type of guy that once he kind of takes over, you feel like it's going to be over. Like as soon as he kind of starts taking Savage around and starts getting moves in, it's like a death sentence. It's like, okay, he's probably not coming back from that.
Yeah, the end is near.
Yeah, and I think, and that goes to credit Savage too, because I think he's one of the, of course, best of all time. But yeah, as far as the match, I mean, kind of like you said, I didn't expect it to be necessarily a back and forth battle. You're going into this probably 99% sure Savage is going to lose. With that said,
maybe not necessarily cleanly.
Right.
Maybe like a DQ or a count out, but they went with the pin.
Right. And with that said, with the flag knocking him off his balance, it's funny to me that it seems with Yoko that he's undefeatable unless you're an 80s star. Because if you're an 80s star, you can beat him.
You can get stuff in on him.
Yeah. Which is weird. Because, okay, those are the older guys. Oh, maybe more experience. I don't know. But it's funny that, Duggan, Savage, even, Hogan.
Who has he fought, really, aside from those guys? Aside from jobbers. Enhancement guys.
On TV that we've saw?
Nobody, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, yeah.
Nobody. But still, I mean, he's squashed quite a few people on TV. So you got to think at some point, it's like, why can only 80s guys beat him? Why isn't he squashing, I don't know, who was a face at the time?
Rick Steiner.
Right. Well, maybe that's a bad example.
All right, Marty Jannetty's 80s guy. So we want a babyface from the 90s? Fuck. Well, Crush is another. Well, Crush was 90s. I don't think he was in Demolition.
Well, could you see Yoko in a squash against Crush?
This is gonna probably not. I don't know if many people agree with me on this. If Yokozuna were to squash Crush without any Mr. Fuji help or anything, it would have a better effect or impact than Savage with what they did here.
Oh my God, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Crush is a monster of a guy. And that's just my logic of it. So if he beats another monster of a guy.
Well, and so, okay,
younger.
so, and Crush is quote-unquote relevant at this time.
He's got a Mania match.
So I totally agree with that.
See, I didn't know if you would. I thought maybe you were going to be like, oh, no way. Savage is the bigger name for sure.
Right.
But Crush being a big guy, pretty fresh to the scene in the singles capacity.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I do. I totally agree with that. Other than that, though, yeah, I was surprised more or less that.
Or what if he? I don't mean to cut you off, but what if he, like, ended Tatanka's undefeated streak at a snap of a finger?
Oh my God, that would have been so good.
I mean,
Tell me that doesn't seal the deal.
Oh yeah, I mean he's over 100. Like, I mean he's
done.
over now.
It's done.
But if he were to
it's
beat
done.
Tatanka,
Yeah.
undefeated Native American Tatanka,
Right.
in let's say a minute 20,
Right.
I don't even think it would kill Tatanka necessarily because fans would be like, well, this fucking Yokozuna guy is unbeatable.
Yeah. And think of it this way. Realistically, why, if Tatanka's undefeated, why is he not the number one contender for the WWF Championship?
Well, because he doesn't beat name people.
Yeah, but if you think about it...
He just beats Dwayne Gill every 3 weeks.
About it makes sense.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. But the competition level is just drastically
That's why
different.
you have Yoko be like, oh, you're undefeated? Oh, okay.
Right, yeah. Because you're beating up Scott Taylor, and he's like $150. Well,
Yeah.
I ate that for lunch today, so
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. I didn't really get the end, like the post-match stuff.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Although I have to say, I wasn't expecting Savage to roll out of the way of the bonsai drop. That was kind of interesting.
I don't know why they had Savage essentially try to get his heat back.
Yeah.
They keep on doing that.
I know. Well, and this is what we were just talking about with Savage. It's like they want to pretend that they've given up hope on him, but they have not.
Yeah, they know in the back of their head, well, we got this spare guy named Macho Man Randy Savage.
Right. And really, if you think about it, okay, so why was Bret not able to get this kind of rub off Yokozuna and basically a semi-retired commentator was? Because it's kind of like, so the finish with like the post-match thing, it's, first of all, it's built way more than anything we've gotten in ring from Bret and Yoko. Like they have more heat between each other between the Royal Rumble elimination and this. It's like, you would think these two are fighting at WrestleMania. Why hasn't Bret gotten this, type of deal with Yoko?
Well, he did by managing to stand back up from the bonsai drop.
Oh, right, yeah. Whatever, Bob.
It's a pretty monumental moment.
I liked the match for what it was. It was exactly what I was expecting out of this. Although I expected Yoko to get more of a solid victory over Macho Man here heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's kind of my main complaint here for the match. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's certainly what you would expect.
It's what you'd expect.
But I don't think it does a good job of presenting Yokozuna for the title match.
I don't either, because really, what did he gain?
Right, nothing. Sure, he beat Randy Savage, but after the match, just kill him with a bonsai drop and just sit on him. The visual of him sitting on Randy Savage, just staring at the mat, like just screaming out WrestleMania.
Right. If I can do this to Randy Savage, I can do this to Bret Hart.
Exactly.
I agree.
And I think Randy Savage has more clout with the fans than Bret Hart.
Yes.
At this point.
Well, especially stateside, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just wish it was a main event, too. I don't know why they started off with the show.
Yeah, bad match timing and card organization on that one. Why would you not save that? Why isn't that the main event?
Yeah.
Realistically.
Compared to what we end up getting, which, I mean, isn't bad, but...
Still.
Still. I don't know. Coming out of that, we get a reminder of Lex Luger's debut at the Royal Rumble. I believe that's Austin's favorite moment.
Oh, yeah, I literally have in caps lock here, come on, damn it. This lead up is a basic recap here of Luger and kind of what he's done over the last couple of weeks with a voiceover compliments of Mean Gene. I hate Luger. I hate everything about him.
You do?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No. What do you mean, am I serious? Yeah.
You just said no.
I'm saying, are you serious?
I like Lex Luger.
Oh my god.
I like the narcissist.
I fucking don't.
There comes a point when I don't like Lex Luger, and we'll get there eventually. But for right now, I like the character. In ring, I mean, sure, he's not the greatest.
Whatever, man. Not a fan. Not a fan.
He doesn't like you either.
Good, because he never answered us through Twitter either.
Yeah, it's
about
true.
doing our fucking opening.
I was on Twitter today, and he was definitely... Well, I guess he was responding to people who were asking for prayers. But you know what? Screw those people.
They don't need his prayers.
No. What the hell is Lex Luger going to do for you?
I'll give Luger my total package.
Oh, my... And you had to grab it?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I can't wait until you're... Okay. Second contest for tonight is Mr. Perfect taking on your father, Skinner.
Now, agree with me or not,
Okay.
does Skinner remind you of current guy Elias on TV?
No.
What?
No.
He looks just like him.
Skinner looks like Elias.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. If anything, if you were to say, hey, Bob, does Randy Savage and Elias look similar? Then I'd say,
please.
yes.
Elias is not Randy Savage. He's Skinner.
No, there's no way that Skinner and Elias are comparable in looks.
Walk with Skinner.
Oh my gosh. Comeback 2018, Steve Kern.
It's got to be, you know what it is? It's the beard and the lack of charisma.
You don't think Elias is... Okay,
not at
this is going to turn into a modern-day fucking podcast. What?
He gets half an entrance here as Mr. Perfect's theme cuts in rather early. So Skinner pretty much doesn't get an entrance. And Bobby says that he's taught Perfect the towel toss that he always does behind his back trick, which Bobby's not athletic at all. So to think of that, him teaching him Mr. Perfect anything is very funny.
No, he's athletic.
Sure. Skinner begins his work quick when he jumps on Mr. Perfect before he was finished making his entrance. And, you know, Skinner bounced Perfect's head off the steps pretty good and broke up the count by rolling back into the ring, something we haven't really seen, like a guy breaking the count. Like, oh shit, he wants to beat Perfect's ass. Which, again, Skinner doesn't have a match at WrestleMania. So why we're even seeing him on this card is very bizarre to me. But Vince accuses him of maybe being paid off to break some rules by Lex Luger. Just like kind of like Bobby did with Bret and Savage.
Wait, so
earlier.
McMahon does the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, so now why are they overplaying that?
Well, so Bobby says, oh, absolutely not. Lex doesn't need Skinner to do his dirty work. So it's like Bobby's trying to turn it around. And he makes a comment out of it later, too. But Skinner got the better of Perfect for about the first half of the match. And it leaded into Perfect making his comeback, of course. And I was rather surprised that Skinner was getting so much in here. Like, he was getting in pretty good offense on Mr. Perfect. Especially seeing that, again, he doesn't have a match on WrestleMania.
He does have that victory, though, over the Undertaker on Raw.
That 20-minute classic.
20-minute classic that we happened to
That's
not
fair.
see.
That's fair. Regardless of that, Perfect got his 10 punches in, his knee lift, his grounded, neck snapper that he does, all his signature stuff. Again, all stuff that Bobby says Kurt stole from him. At this point, Bobby slipped out. Come on, Skinner. You want to get your money? Get up.
So he denies
And then he's
it.
like, no, I didn't mean that. Foreshadowing a payoff job, obviously. So it's like he lets it slip out. He's like, no. And Vince is like, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
So that whole thing must have been that lead up.
Yeah.
To kind of maybe, quote unquote, explain the match a little bit or whatever. So I liked that. I thought it was good.
So it kind of gives the match a purpose.
Kind of, yeah. A half-assed way, but yes. Perfect wrapped it up with a perfect plex where Vince only counted to 2 on commentary, but the ref counted 3. So it was like weird timing there on either Vince's part or the ref's part, but it was like Vince was like 1, 2, and the ref counts 3 and he doesn't say 3. I was like, okay. That was weird.
I noticed that.
What did you think of this one, Bob?
Well, I haven't noted here that at one point here against Skinner, he uses his belt in front of the referee. He clotheslines Perfect with the belt, and the match just continues.
I didn't even recognize that. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, and they mentioned it on commentary.
There must have been something on my monitor.
It was fuzzy. It was fuzzy. That's good. Yeah, no, because I want to say Vince says, like, how's that? What's going on? He just used his ring belt.
Yeah.
To clothesline perfect. And I have it on my notes. How's that not a disqualification?
Shit, I didn't realize. Yeah.
As for the match, I don't know, man. I'm not a big perfect guy. I'm just not. He doesn't.
I'm in the middle of the road with perfect. Either he's watchable and you want to go out of your way to watch a match, or it's nothing special.
Yeah, this to me was one of the not anything going on.
No, I agree.
I mean, just perfect having trouble with Skinner.
I know.
The week before.
I know.
Lex Luger.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like
weird.
To the fans, it's sense. Like, if you can't beat the guy who hasn't won a match,
and God knows
in
how long,
like a year, what are you doing?
Right.
We're really supposed to take you seriously with Luger? So.
I know. No, I agree. I agree with that completely.
But yeah, so I didn't really care about it. But I was glad that there was some level of promotion for Perfect Luger, although it's still not direct.
Yeah, barely.
It's basically Heenan on commentary.
Yeah. Yeah.
From there we go to a WWF hotline promo, and then a Hulk Hogan ad.
Did you get the hotline number down, Bob?
No. It's like 1-900-909 something.
Yeah, okay, so it's 1-900-909-9990. No. See, now you're fucking me up. I had it down perfect.
The only 900 number you ever have to remember is 1-900-909-9900.
I was just going to say, because this is like literally one number off of that, which is weird. Yeah, because it's 1-900-909-9939.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like one, and I literally wrote that down, awfully close to another hotline we'd see later in the 90s.
I was going to say, because I don't think WCW is using that hotline number.
No.
That's when Mean Gene goes there, I think.
Yeah. Which is funny because it's like a little bit of foreshadowing there.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I know that number is because growing up, the 1-900...
Did you call it?
No, I never called it.
Shit.
But Mean Gene would just say it
constantly.
Even after... So there was always the Saturday night... He would have random interviews with guys, right? And then there was always at least two times in the show when Gene would promote his hotline.
Make sure to get on that hotline, 1-900-9900.
And he'd say, one time he was saying, somebody died. I can't tell you here, though. You gotta go check out the 1-900-909-9900.
Holy shit.
It's like, who the fuck died?
I know.
You know, it's just...
That was the thing. Hotlines in the 90s, dude. Everybody had it. Brian Pillman had a hotline.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's see. So Gene had one.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan had one with Gene.
Yeah.
I didn't know Pillman did.
Yeah.
What, ECW?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pillman had one. Hogan had one.
Pillman had his own deal on that.
Sting might have had one, too.
It's just so weird. Like, what a weird thing.
Well, I want to say...
I want a wrestler. I challenge a current wrestler out there, whether you're on the indies or not.
Have a hotline?
Get your own hotline.
Well, what they say is, what's old... becomes new again. Could you imagine like Joey Janela?
I don't even know who that is, but
he's an independent guy. He's like uses a lot of. He has his own. I think he runs his own company.
Oh, okay.
And he uses like a lot of old guys.
Yeah.
So why doesn't Joey Janela just have his own hotline?
That would be awesome. I would
probably listen to it once.
Any wrestler out there, you get your own hotline. I'm a fan. I'll buy your shirt.
Well, and you know what? And if they're thinking, I don't make all that one, that wouldn't make a lot of money. I'm pretty sure Eric Bischoff had said that the hotline alone essentially paid off Gene's contract. Gene's contract for the entire year.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's 2018, but still, people are all over insider knowledge about wrestling. That's huge business.
Even fake shit. I could literally...
Even fake shit.
I could post on there tonight and say, Hulk Hogan is scheduled to beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34.
Right. Tune into the hotline to find out more.
But I mean, I could legit do it right now.
Oh, I know.
And if I got the right groups, they'd be like, what? No fucking way.
And they would pay
Are you
to
serious?
Hear it.
Yeah, they believe it.
Exactly.
I can make any bullshit thing I want.
Exactly.
And they'll believe it.
Exactly.
So coming out of the hotline, we have Reverend Slick is in the ring to get the crowd hyped and pumped up for Kamala. And it was kind of weird they did it on TV though. Didn't they do this? Oh yeah, come on everybody, talk to me.
Yeah, well, because it was like, are the cameras supposed to be showing this right now?
That's what I was saying.
Well, because so he's in the ring. He's asking the audience if they're happy. Bobby on commentary goes, no. Slick asks the crowd again. Bobby says again, no. So it's like, if Vince just goes, stop it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really know if, maybe that's a nice gem for like the tape that's going to come out of this show. But again, are we should be wasting TV time with this stuff? I don't know.
It looked out of place. Kamala will be wrestling at WrestleMania against Bam Bam Bigelow. Slick wants to keep Kamala away from the evil that is Kimchi.
Yeah.
The fans are pretty supportive of this effort, but Slick has to go backstage to see why Kamala's not coming out.
Well, and Slick even says he's like, he's now walking the straight and narrow. It's almost like Kamala's a recovering drug addict.
Well, maybe Kimchi's his cocaine.
I guess.
Maybe Kimchi's the drug dealer. Maybe this is legitimately a storyline about.
Why do you think I like kimchi? So yeah, it's very weird. And then Slick again, he goes, "Oh, do you like what I'm saying?" And Bobby again goes, "No."
Stop asking me.
He keeps saying no to everything Slick says, and it's awesome because my sentiments is I hate Slick and find him very annoying. So I was right there with Bobby. But yeah, I thought it was weird that like Slick had to go back and get Kamala while his music was playing. Like that didn't make sense to me. Because all I could think of is like Kamala missed his cue. They have to go back and like pull him out and get him out here.
Or maybe he doesn't know how to pin guys, so maybe he doesn't know how to walk through a curtain.
I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was.
Well, with Slick having to go backstage to go get Kamala, that sets up a time here to have our usual Ico Pro and WWF figures ad.
I was gonna see if you were gonna skip over that, and I would have been pissed if you did.
No, I'm not skipping over it until one Bulldog's out of it, which I'll still note it, but he's still in it.
Yeah.
And then when they finally switch it to maybe an ad from '93, that stuff is from '92. They've been running that same ad for probably 2 years.
The bite of the bulldog.
He's in WCW. Like you're promoting. Okay. That leads us to our third match. It is, in fact, Kamala against Kimchi. And I have it written down here that this is likely Austin's wet dream, so I'll let you go ahead.
Dude. I loved this. Okay, so Kimchi surprise attacks Kamala to start the match off. Started whooping his ass, laying the boots to him, beating the hell out of him. Mind you, this is Kimchi, the manager. Okay, so
the handler.
Oh, he was handling his ass. I was loving this. Kimchi doing work on Kamala. Bobby explained it, and this was so bad. He goes, Kamala, he's like a big dog. You bring him over to where he made a mess in the house. You rub his nose in it, and then you work him over. Talking about a dog here. Holy shit, Bobby, you dog-beating bastard.
He must have done that before.
He says he worked the dog over for peeing in the house.
Jesus.
You rub his nose in and you work him over, he says. Vince goes, you what? We apologize for that. So he's like, I wonder if he's really pissed that Bobby said that.
Maybe.
It was like animal abuse.
Yeah. Where's like PETA, right? They'll get
yeah.
What the fuck?
With that said, Kamala did he got the upper hand eventually. And they went again with that stupid not knowing how to pin gimmick.
I hate that.
Again. At this point, you know what, though? It's just a way to get the crowd involved because they're telling him, oh, roll him over. So it's like just another way to get him over as a face, I think, which is like, whatever. You know. So literally after rolling Kimchi around for about a minute, he finally got the pin on him. And Kamala then took Kimchi's plastic hat and proceeded to beat him with it. And then Slick, of course, put it on, swaggered around the ring. Stupid. Although, I have to say, to Slick's credit, he got Kamala to put the hat on after, like, his fear of association with it, with Kimchi and stuff. Mm-hmm. And seeing Kamala with that hat on is hilarious. I don't know. I don't get me wrong. Personally, I do love this stuff with Kamala and Kimchi. I know you don't.
I don't understand why.
Call me cheesy. Call me cheesy. But, you know, Slick aside, I think that a monster taking it to his handler is always kind of an anomaly. It's like, you want to see that. You want to see the gorilla bust out of the cage and beat the guy's ass that's feeding him the bananas.
Yeah, but the problem with that, though, is that Kamala is not being presented as that monster. He's being promoted as, I don't know how to pin a guy.
Right. I know. It's a comedy thing. It is.
Yeah, and that's the main problem. I did notice, though, in the match that at one point, as Kimchi's working over him, Kamala just looks at Kimchi and he wants to hit him, but he can't.
Yeah.
Because like there's still that brief
Like he's still kind of scared of him. Yeah,
but obviously he gets through that.
He does.
Ends up prevailing with the splash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like a standing splash.
He doesn't know how to do it and he gets it. So as everybody knows, I can see that the Kamala character is likable. The kids are
the Kimchi
supportive.
character is likable.
Kimchi.
I love Kimchi.
This blows my mind. You love Kimchi, but you allegedly now hate Tatanka, and you don't like Lex Luger.
You're damn right.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you seen his mask and outfit? How can you not like that? Not only is it hilarious. It's hilarious.
I cannot like it pretty easily because he fucking sucks.
No. Did you see how good he was beating Kamala's ass in the beginning of this match? Dude, he was going. It was like The Rock was under there.
Oh my god. shaking his legs so his thigh fat is just going jiggling on him.
Dude, he was doing work on Kamala.
Yeah, I bet.
I loved it.
Wouldn't it be funny if The Rock was actually Kimchi?
He was lighting him up.
I mean to tell you guys, I was Kimchi in '93.
That was his real debut. Don't let him kid you.
Coming out of there, we have a WrestleMania music video. I'm pretty sure it's the same one we've seen, I would assume. I just kind of skipped over it.
Yeah, it's got Tatanka, Bossman, Hacksaw, Nasty
Oh, is it them
Boys,
like rapping? That one?
Bret Hart. And it's like the...
Beat people up.
It's like a survival in WrestleMania tie-in. It's literally
Okay.
it's a music video about fighting to survive against one another.
I might include that in the WrestleMania 9 one at the end.
Yeah, it kind of had like a pop rap vibe.
Okay, I know which one you're talking
Yeah, it was.
Coming out of that, we have a video highlighting the feud between the Mega Maniacs and the WWF Tag Team Champions Money Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple reminder there.
Yep.
Coming out of that, we have IRS in the ring as he does his usual tech cheat promo. As Money Incorporated will be in action.
Right, yeah. He goes, Mega Maniacs, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. And at WrestleMania in Vegas, your odds aren't too good. I'm getting really, really sick of the Vegas cliches. Like the gambling, the dice rolling.
No, you can't say that.
No, because every guy in the roster's using it.
Yeah,
now.
but you loved it when Shawn said it.
Because he's the first one who said it, and then everybody else said it. And it's to me, it seemed like it was a directive from The Office. Like, figure out how to tie your promo in with Vegas.
Yeah.
And, like, every guy did it. Because as soon as Shawn did the snake eyes of the rolling the dice thing, Ted did it, IRS did it, Money Inc. did it, or Mega Maniacs did it. Fucking everybody's doing it now. I'm sick of the cliches. They're getting way overplayed, and they're not even like they're giving up being creative about it. Like they're pretty much saying the same thing every time.
Well, I'm glad you finally got to that
when
point.
Shawn did it, it was fucking good.
Whatever.
Okay.
Because Shawn.
Because Shawn.
Because Shawn.
Because not Tatanka. Shawn.
Well, Tatanka said it. It would be the greatest thing ever.
No, because he would have just said yee. Yeah, that just happened.
I mean,
happened.
You're probably right. So we have our fourth match of the night. It is the Tag Team Champions, Money Incorporated, and they're in action against Reno Riggins and Jerry Sabin.
Sabin was wearing a, pea green trunks with Italy and iron-on white letters on the back of his trunks.
I oddly kind of remember what that looked like.
Yeah, fucking horrible. That's what it looked like. It looked like he found that gear in the garbage can in the back. Somebody's like, I ain't wearing this. He was like, dude, damn it, I am. That looks good. Horrible.
Very great.
Horrible.
They're just destroying these guys.
Well, compared to like a guy like Reno Riggins, who obviously puts some thought into his gear, because it's pretty good for an enhancement guy.
Wasn't the same guy that had the cheetah?
Not this time. It was
But
different.
he did before.
He did before.
Yeah,
he did before. But you can tell he stepped it up a little bit. He got that WWF paycheck, so he went out and bought gear.
Got my $300.
Yep. So, I mean, compared to Sabin here, it's not a good look.
Jerry Sabin just sounds as if he's a grandpa. Come here, Jerry.
Yeah. Well, he looked like a grandpa, so that was.
Russell looked like one too. So this match starts off with Sabin getting worked over by Money Incorporated. The same fate happens to Riggins upon his entry into the match.
Yeah, a lot of good quick tags, good solid work. This is one of the better showings for the champs here that we've seen.
Yeah, the champions hit snap suplexes on Riggins, but they don't go for the cover. DiBiase comes back in and puts the $1 Million Dream on Riggins to win the match in a pretty convincing and quick manner.
Absolutely.
I kind of feel as if, though, that they're not quite being presented as serious threats to Hogan and Beefcake. Sure, they did what they did to Beefcake.
Right.
But aside from that, they are certainly just a tag team.
And you know, as a fan, it's like they can do this to fucking, Jerry Sabin or whatever the hell his name is. But they ain't doing that to Hulk Hogan.
Right. And my point on that is that in ring-wise, is what they're doing really going to make that much of an impact on a Hogan or even on a Beefcake, really?
Right.
I mean, it works on these guys.
Right.
But when you're going in there against mega stars of the 80s and they're all muscles.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, it just doesn't... I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a believable tandem to defeat them. I guess.
You don't give him much of a shot. Even though, I mean, again, this was, I thought, a pretty solid showing here. But again, it's a guy, it's Reno Riggins and Jerry Sabin. So, what did you really prove?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
That they can just beat random guys.
Right.
Coming out of that, we hear from the Mega Maniacs and Jimmy Hart. And I think I'm going to have Austin kind of tell us what's going on over there with this promo. Because if you understood what the hell they were talking about, please tell me.
Boy, I've been looking forward to talking about this for the last, I'd say, day and a half.
Okay.
Chomping at the bit.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so bear with me. This is going to be quite the thing here.
All right, I'll get on my Tinder.
Good call. So it's conducted by Mean Gene. So, the three come out. And it's obvious right from the start that Hogan is the one getting the reaction. It's all Hogan merch in the crowd. And even the camera itself is barely placed on Jimmy and Beefcake. Like, it shows Hogan for most of it when they're coming out and it's like going up to the platform or whatever. I think also with that said, the mask on Brutus looks absolutely ridiculous and has to be a rib because it's shaped almost like the Ultimate Warrior paint, which is weird, but it looks like something Max Moon would wear. It's like, what is that?
No, that's a good point with the Warrior thing, and it's sticking out.
It's thick.
Yeah, it's not
like a thick rubber
flat
thing.
mass.
No.
It's like protruding off of his face.
It looked ridiculous. Whoever talked him into wearing that must have... It's probably Hogan. He's like, I'll get you in the co-main event, brother. Put this on. He's like, all right. Can I bring my scissors out? Yeah, okay. All right.
I trust you, Hulkster.
Yeah. So here we go. Hogan went on a tirade about how he was out of his mind when Brutus got attacked. And he just kind of went into autopilot while riding Brutus's Sea Glider for 7 days and 7 nights all the way to New York City. What the fuck does that even mean? He rode a Sea Glider for 7 days and 7 nights, I assume across the ocean to New York City.
He can't afford a plane ticket? Get there in like 6 hours?
Yeah.
He took 7 days?
On a sea glider.
Oh,
How much
man.
gas did he bring with him?
Who the... I don't...
In the middle of the pitch black ocean?
Just fucking Hulk.
Okay, Hulk. Brutus then... he kind of like tried to build up their chances at Mania, as he says that Hogan tested out the mask by having Hogan drop Atlas-sized elbows on Brutus's face repeatedly and not leaving a scratch on him due to the mask. So he's letting his partner elbow drop Atlas-sized elbows directly onto his repaired face.
Got to test it out.
In preparation for their match.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on from there. Jimmy gets on the mic. Jimmy Hart gets on the mic and says he's got a tip for everybody watching. Don't invest any stock in Money Inc. because they'll be going belly up and bankrupt. Okay, Jimmy. He says that the Mega Maniacs are on the ups with the new t-shirts, posters, and Nintendo games that are all on the horizon for them. So he's making it about the money gimmick and trying to at least having a believable couple of sentences compared to what the other two just spit out.
Yeah.
Hogan, again, grabs the mic back and says that Brutus has been real mad, to which Brutus confusingly explained that he went up and down the aisles in Kmart for hair color and tonic in preparation to face Money Inc. Which is dumb, because why would hair products help him fight the WWF Tag Team Champions? Holy shit. He said that he went to the desert of Vegas to chop down some cactuses and mountains to dull up his scissors. Because, of course, why would you not want to have sharp scissors going against your hated opponents? He decided he wouldn't even bother bringing the shears, though, as he'll just pull their hair out from their heads with his bare hands instead. Wow. We're breaking barriers here. Hogan then grabs the mic back again and says that after he was hanging off the Santa Monica Pier fishing with his bare hands, he pulled out 2 hammerhead sharks. He said that at Caesar's Palace, he's going to put salt water in the pool and fill it with sea urchins, nasty mermaids, and 2 hammerhead sharks, the ones that he caught. He says that he and Brutus will pry open their jaws, put the belts in there to keep them open, and throw all the babes and Hulkamaniacs into the pool to celebrate all night long as he and Brutus hang 10 and oil up all the babes with 2 cases of suntan lotion. Holy fucking shit.
I'm so glad I didn't do that segment because I left so much out of that just because I did not know what the fuck they were talking about.
Who? What?
Well,
who approved that?
No, I don't know. There was early on, like you mentioned, though, he was talking about sniffing around for his partner.
Yeah.
And Hogan does some ridiculous snorting noises.
Oh, yeah.
So you know he was snorting something else prior to this. Yeah.
Sniffing around for my partner, brother.
Yeah. But it sounded more like a pig one. Like,
yeah, it was. It was an Ultimate Warrior. For sure.
Yeah. But I'm so glad that you got all that stuff.
Did we just hear all that? What the fuck? Does that... What? They had to be on drugs.
The only person...
What was that promo?
I don't know. The only person that mentioned Money Incorporated was Jimmy Hart.
And had a coherent couple of sentences.
Yeah. These guys we're going to go replace all pool water with salt water and have sharks and babes.
And then throw our fans in there and have a party.
Yeah, because they won't get murdered by their sharks because the tag belts will keep their mouths open.
And nasty mermaids.
Yes. Because those are real.
You want them in the pool. Nasty mermaids.
Well, is he saying whores?
What the fuck?
He's going to have some sluts in there? Like, hey.
How about Brutus going to the desert and cutting down mountains and cactuses with his shears? You imagine that big dumb motherfucker with his mask on out in the middle of the desert cutting down cactuses. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, God. If I'm Money Incorporated.
Oh, my God.
If I'm Money Incorporated, I'm backstage petrified.
If I'm Vince, I'm saying don't you ever fucking talk again.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Don't ever say any of that again.
Yeah, that was bad. It's just epically horrible.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 7 days and 7 nights he's out in a ski-doo in the middle of the ocean coming to New York City. Hulk Hogan. Full gimmick. You know he's not got a scuba outfit on or no shit like that. He's red and yellow with a boa in the middle of the ocean. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Who? Why is... You know what? I bet you they went back into the backstage after this and was like, brother.
Nailed it.
We got to reshoot that.
No, they probably like, we nailed it.
Oh,
that's
my
bro.
God.
Our buy rate's going to be through the roof.
What a bunch of dumb shit all of that was.
All the fans are going to want to see those nasty mermaids. We totally nailed it.
And the sea urchins in the pool.
Urchins.
Like, you're going to throw your fans in dirty ocean water with sharks and poisonous sea urchins.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hulk. Sounds like a real party. As you guys hang 10 and oil up the babes with 2 cases of suntan oil. He specifically says 2 cases. He's already got it planned out. Cases are already at the hotel.
This guy's married. Why is he bringing babes?
Holy
His babe should be
hell.
Linda.
Or the sharks.
Or the shark.
He caught him with his bare hands hanging off the Santa Monica Pier. In California.
There's no way people are taking this guy seriously.
Fucking I hope not.
There's no way kids are saying, oh yeah, Hulk.
You hear that?
I told
Hulk
you.
caught sharks, dude.
I told you, Dad, we could totally do that.
You can hang off the pier and fish.
Dad, I want some nasty mermaids.
Oh my
Don't
God.
worry, son, you will.
And Brutus was just so lost. And like,
he always is.
look, because he's one of the guys where you have to lead him into something. And Hogan it's just a minefield. So when Brutus starts it off by, saying that he was in the desert of Vegas to chop down some cactuses and mountains to dull up the scissors, it's like, where is this fucking going? He don't know. He's just making shit up.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
So is Hogan. Hogan's making shit up. This was hilarious. Promo of the night. 5 stars.
I mean, I guess it's good because I think I'll remember this.
Oh, it's gonna be hard to forget.
Yeah. So in that sense, it's successful.
Next time somebody tells me Hogan's the greatest of all time, I'm playing this. And then tell me about it.
Yeah. You should just read them the promo, and they'll be like, "Oh, who said that?" And you're gonna be like,
Hulk Hogan.
And they're gonna be like, "No, he didn't." Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And here's the footage.
Yeah, it wasn't Skinner or Max Moon or the Bushwhackers. It was Hulk Hogan.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Skinner cutting that promo? I'm gonna bring in the alligators. We're gonna hold their mouths wide open. I'm gonna bring in this girl with 3 legs. It's gonna be great.
She's gonna have herpes, and I love it. I'm gonna oil her up.
I'm gonna spit tobacco in her face all night. Call her ugly whore.
Oh my God, I loved that. I've been waiting to talk about that. Thank you, Bob, for just throwing me a touchdown on that one. If you guys haven't seen this promo, go out of your way however you can to find it and watch it. You will not. It'll blow your mind.
Maybe I'll try to find it and post it on.
Yeah, hook 'em
the
up with
page
that.
there
Hook 'em up
before
with
this
that.
airs.
Yeah.
Coming out of that epic promo, we have a highlight video promoting the feud between Tatanka and Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels. Basically, Tatanka beat him twice.
Yep.
And that's the whole point of the feud.
Exactly.
Coming out of that, we get pre-tape comments from the Intercontinental Champion Shawn Michaels, who says he's walking out of WrestleMania with the title, but also Tatanka's scalp. And he holds up like hair. And I'm thinking to myself, that's a bit too much, Shawn.
So
whoa.
We go from one gem to the other here. To me, I think this was a new interview. That we haven't seen this interview before.
No.
So yeah, Shawn starts it out with all the stereotypes. So he says, much like the big casinos in Vegas, he makes a living out of playing people like a sucker. And it's like, okay, here we go with the Vegas shit again. But he wants Tatanka to feel overly lucky walking into WrestleMania because he still plans to walk out the Intercontinental Champion. So he's saying the fact that maybe Tatanka might be taking him lightly at this point. So that's a good point. It's like, maybe that Shawn's going to maybe catch him off guard and be able to beat him. As soon as that little rat comes up into frame, because it looks like a dead rat he holds up. Yeah. It's literally so...
Isn't it red, though?
It's like a fake rendition of Tatanka's red mohawk.
Right.
It literally looks like it.
Yeah.
Or roadkill. It's one or the other. And so not only does he say that he's walking out with the Intercontinental Championship and with Tatanka's scalp, he fucking pulls it into frame and shows you it. That was his promo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that's a bit much. I think it really is a bit much.
You think there's any Native American writers on the writer team being like, come on, guys.
What's the Tatanka thing? He's what the fuck?
Oh, my God.
We're going that deep?
And Shawn even said it like a dick, dude. I'm walking out with your scalp.
Yeah,
He's
like a smirk,
it.
like,
oh,
I already got it.
My God.
I don't know.
How the fuck did they get away with that?
It's a better promo than his rolling snake eyes, I guess.
He showed a scalp.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
If I saw that as a kid, I'd be like, I fucking hate you, Shawn Michaels.
I would crying. Like,
I
what
would.
the fuck?
Is that Tatanka's head? Is that his hair? Is that his scalp? What happened?
Oh my God.
Don't worry, it's not Tatanka's scalp because he's in the next match.
Good Lord. Mind blowing. Again, please, if you can find this, go watch it.
So bad.
Scalp. Scalp.
It's so just.
Holy
shit.
It
made the match really, like the feud, like a million times more intense.
Oh, you turned it up with that one.
Because, Tatanka's beat me twice, but I'm going to take his scalp. It's like, what?
It's not a match anymore.
That should be the promo you do before he beats you twice.
Yeah.
I feel like not afterwards, but...
I'm going to disgrace your whole race of people.
Yeah. A week before the big event, like, hey...
Forget the belt.
Taking the scalp.
I'm wearing your scalp out.
Needless to say, I don't think they mentioned this.
Oh,
I don't think they mentioned...
I've never seen this before.
I don't remember him saying that.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
That's
a bad
That's
one.
really. Whew, okay, so Tatanka is in action next against George South.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of this guy before. I feel like I've seen him do
He is
enhancement before.
Yep, and I don't remember the territory which he was
I don't know
prominently
where.
in, but he was he would do various WCW squashes and stuff at the time as well.
Yes.
South gets quite a bit of, not quite a bit, but gets a few offensive moves in here with strikes.
Mm-hmm.
But Tatanka is able to withstand it and scoop slam South early on. South gets control again with more strikes, but Tatanka goes on the war dance because he still has a scalp, so he can do that.
Right, he's still looking to dance, but George, he was pulling out some dirty tactics, which was obviously that's what he was there for. Although Vince does mention here that Sensational Sherry will be ringside for Michaels at WrestleMania, which sounded weird to me, and I kind of had to stop and listen. Oh, she says for Michaels.
Oh.
He says for Michaels, which is weird because, again, I thought she hated him. So it's like,
maybe he meant like for the Michaels match, not necessarily for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Because that didn't make sense to me. Maybe I misheard, but
I think,
wait, what?
I think when it comes to these things, like I focus way, not way, but
You
heavily
tune
on.
in, Bob.
I focus on the action.
Well, I probably should more too, but
No, but it's good you caught that because if he's trying to insinuate that Sherry and Michaels have made up,
that's what it
then it's
seemed
what
like.
the fuck?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
I didn't even catch that. Tatanka goes on the war dance, and then Tatanka chops South several times and ends up winning with the end of the trail. Pretty much a basic squash match. Nothing much going on.
I had missable and nothing special here. Boring.
I mean, as much as Tatanka's my boy, that's pretty much accurate.
Yeah.
However, after the match, Shawn Michaels makes his way out and grabs a microphone. He asks if Tatanka really thinks he has a shot at beating him at WrestleMania 9. Shawn says there's no way Tatanka will beat him for the title. Tatanka grabs the microphone while Michaels plays to the camera on the floor.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Because Shawn's blowing bubbles this whole time with the gum.
Oh, he's chewing gum, yeah.
He's chewing gum. So after he says that, whatever, you have no chance at WrestleMania, he just kind of walks out. And it's like a real awkward couple of seconds to where Tatanka hasn't grabbed the mic. Shawn's just walking out. And you almost think Shawn's probably going to just get to the back and Tatanka's not going to say anything. There's no music playing. It's very awkward.
No, I think I know what you're talking about because he like backs up a little bit or something.
Yeah.
I thought Tatanka was going to turn around and then Michaels was going to deck him.
Something.
I thought that was.
Yeah, it was like a weird. But then, so Tatanka grabs the mic and says that they don't have to wait till WrestleMania, that they can do it for the belt right now.
Cliche.
Of course. So the crowd goes nuts, obviously. And as Shawn slowly, made his way back to the ring, I saw the setup a mile away. Of course, Shawn steps down from the ring steps and heads back as Tatanka music plays through. So he kind of says, no, we are going to wait, kind of thing.
Right. Well, I think you're probably going to be surprised, but I liked that part because it's literally the first interaction and it's teasing.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty effective. More effective than the whole "I'm going to take your scalp."
More effective than taking his scalp?
I'm just kidding. But
what if he came out chewing the scalp?
Oh God! What the fuck?
Oh, why was there no mention here? He just came out and shook it at him.
If that happened, Tatanka would probably drop to his knees and cry.
I quit. My real name is
Chris.
Yeah, Jim.
It's me, Chris Travis.
I quit.
I'm playing. I'm just a character.
You people are mean. Yeah. Holy shit.
Coming out of that, we have the WrestleMania 9 report with Mean Gene. He promotes the Toga Party in the double main event that's taking place. WWF World Champion Bret Hart is sick and tired of everyone saying that Yokozuna is going to beat him. Mind you, this is a promo by Bret.
Yes.
Bret says that Yoko might lose more than his face at WrestleMania 9. We hear from Crush.
Well, so yeah, Bret he says the excellence of execution will be 100% in focus at Caesar's Palace, which directly touches on the recap of the events following contract signing. So he's basically saying here, there is no injury. I'm going into WrestleMania 100%. So we get that confirmation there, and that's important.
Well, he's always going to say that. He's not going to be like, oh, by the way, my third rib on my left side.
Well, if he's the ultimate underdog, I might be beat down, but I'm gonna beat you at WrestleMania. You degenerate.
That's a foreshadowing for 4 years from now.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. So Doink and Crush were then covered, And we join Crush on a fishing boat. And, dude, here we go again. The hits keep on coming with these promos. Let me tell you, people. So Crush is sitting there on the boat, and he says that he's got 2 favorite things, diving and wrestling. Today, he's going to have a good time diving. But Doink will not have a good time wrestling at WrestleMania 9. He says that he plans on getting his revenge on Doink for not only giving him the concussion, but all the kids you have ever made cry.
That's a really good Crush.
No, it sounded like a Jamaican guy. We then see Crush dive and catch something. And after a jarring cut, so it's like, it cuts right to Crush. And he's just standing there. And it just goes, Doink! At WrestleMania 9, I'm going to crush you, brother. Just like these octopus. What the fuck is this? Oh my God. The jump cut right to Crush. And he's like, Doink.
By the way.
It's like his buddy's filming it on his fucking camcorder. Oh my God, man.
Can you see now why I kind of like Crush?
Holy shit.
A masterpiece on promos.
He's got 2 octopuses in his hand.
Yeah.
What are you doing touching them? He's all warts on
getting
his
ready.
hand. Dude, this was so funny. This was on par with the Hogan thing, I'm telling you.
Well, the Hogan thing takes
it takes the cake.
Yeah.
It takes the cake. But, dude, and then the scalp thing, and then this.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's like boom, boom, boom.
You have to go back and watch all of these. Please, all the listeners out there, find these and watch all of these. Even this stupid Crush one, just the way it's filmed and like the cuts and everything, and how I feel like Crush is pulling everything out of his ass here. And they probably told him, they're like, all right, Crush, we need a minute little video package. Just put one together, whatever you want to come up with. He was probably like, oh, okay. And then fucking goes on a boat with his buddies. He's like, let's catch some octopus,
you
brothers.
know those are not his friends because at the beginning of the promo, they have Crush there. It's like the 2 guys are standing there like...
Yeah, just sitting on the boat. He's like, I'm with my friends. He has no names.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
those
their
are the
names.
guys renting the boat to you. They're not your friends,
Oh,
Crush.
my God, dude.
They're just standing there like, yeah, but what's going on?
Who's this
He's fighting a
guy?
clown? What
Yeah,
the clown?
yeah.
Why are you beating up a clown?
Dude, so good. So good. Loved it.
To close the WrestleMania 9 report, the Steiner brothers cut a promo on the Head Shrinkers saying that the Head Shrinkers better start saying their prayers if they know any. That's what I gathered from it. And I've noted that at least Scott said that with a smile.
Yeah, it was like a bizarrely calm, normal voice. Nothing I've ever heard Scott Steiner talk like, so that was funny. They both smiled at the end. It was like a college presentation.
Yeah.
It was a really awkward, like...
It was like the, like a college commercial.
Yeah.
And they're like, come to Michigan.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to see you at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you just smile at the end. It was weird. Very weird. Speaking of weird, guess what was up next, Bob?
You know what?
The Mighty Midgets.
I fucking hate this shit so much. There's just so...
I'm loving this show, dude.
Here's the thing. I'm not even going to cover what happened, but I'll just tell you why I fucking hate this match. Okay. Number 1. I've never been entertained by dwarfs or midget wrestling. I hate it.
The political correct term is little people.
Is it?
It is.
I thought dwarfs was cool.
No.
Midgets you can't say.
Absolutely not.
Little people?
LP.
I feel like little people's making it more noticeable that they're little.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's like the politically correct.
We're probably gonna get hate mail for that too. But yeah, no. Okay. First off, not that I hate them. I don't enjoy the whole comedy aspect of it.
Well, it's an attraction thing.
Yeah, I'm not that much of a fan. Secondly, okay, I despise the Bushwhackers. Despise them. I fucking hate the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
So when it's announced, the next match is the Beverly Brothers and Little Louie against the Bushwhackers and Tiger Jackson. I was literally sitting in my recliner and I just had my head go back. I'm like, fuck.
I literally look right here, IDK in capital letters. Fuck this match. Period.
Yeah. So if we're on the same wavelength on this, then I'm not gonna really put a much.
I'm going
effort.
through it.
You are?
Oh,
Well, then you're
going
taking
through
away,
it.
man, because I literally just said that the Beverly Brothers and Louie were made to look like idiots for several minutes, and then I just go to the finish. So you can take it away.
Perfect. So Bobby called Tiger Jackson a half-wit.
Oh well, Tiger Jackson, by the way, would eventually be known as Dink.
Oh.
Let's throw that little tidbit.
Didn't know that. He also said that his head looked like a cashew.
That is very true. He's bald, and the way it's shaped, it's almost like an egg, kind of too.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to laugh at that, but dude,
Yeah.
holy fucking shit. Oh, Bobby's killing me. I literally couldn't tell the difference between anybody but the little people. So, like, both Bushwhackers look the same to me, and both Beverleys look the same to me. So
The Beverleys were, for a while, they were pretty difficult for me to figure out which one was which.
I guess I don't care enough to find out. We got more ass biting. Even the little guys got in there, so they even started biting some ass.
Of course they did.
I didn't like the fact that the big guys wouldn't hit the smaller ones. Like, if that's an opponent, I don't care if he's...
Well, it's like a mixed tag match. The guys,
That's not fair.
they don't hit the women.
That's not fair.
How is it not fair?
They're men. They're wrestlers. You fight them.
Okay, so I was thinking about saying something, and I realized in my head that's probably not smart to say it.
Then good. Say
So
that.
I'm going to say hypothetically, if I were to say this, well, it's kind of like hitting a kid.
Holy shit.
Kind of.
Bob!
In terms of height.
That is a grown man.
No, he's not. He's clearly
is.
not grown.
That's not fair.
He's not grown.
That's not fair.
You're
Finally,
telling me right now, hang on a minute. So you're telling me right now that if there were to be a fully sized little guy who's 35, and I were just to punt him across my living room,
stop laughing.
that's okay? No. If it's you and
They
you
want to be treated normal.
oh my God.
If that guy's shit talking me and like trying to steal my girlfriend, I'm fighting him.
No, I'll say good luck, honey. You'll be disappointed by that.
Oh,
The guy's 4 foot tall. What is he packing? Nothing.
Thanks, Bob.
Hey, it's on
Thanks.
your phone.
There goes all of our little people listeners.
Oh, you know, I never thought of that.
Half a listen. Finally, a square off between
Jesus Christ.
Big Louie and Tiger Jackson was up next, so they finally got to fight each other. And the finish came when Tiger got thrown off the... or no, wait. So I'm getting ahead of myself here.
You're getting too excited.
I am. Like I said, I've been loving this show so far. Tiger got thrown off the pin into the ref's arms, who then threw him back on the pin, and it went back and forth a couple of times. That was stupid.
I so zoned out on this. I don't.
Was stupid.
I don't even remember.
2 words here: popcorn match, time filler, piss break. Any of those apply? The commentators themselves were barely talking about this match, and I was trying to barely watch it myself. It dragged on with the Beverleys working several double team moves and doing things behind the ref's back. You could tell the crowd was only interested in the little people wrestlers because the finish came with the assisted splash off the top to pin Little Louie. They got a decent reaction. But all I was really worried about here was the wisecracks from Bobby that he kind of laid in every couple of minutes. And even though stuff like this doesn't hold up well at all, I feel like they're laughing at the midget wrestlers instead of with the midget wrestlers.
Oh, 100%.
So that kind of sucks.
100%. Yeah, when you see them laughing when Tiger Jackson does any move or Little Louie, they're not going like, oh, they're good. Like, oh, look at the midgets, or look at the little people.
That's why
That's what they're doing.
Doesn't hold up. No. Not good. Very skippable. Other than Bobby Heenan's fucking horrible comments that he makes about these guys.
Well, it's well deserved. And so I've never.
Sounds like you're a little hot, Bob.
Yeah, a little bit. I've never understood this idea of an attraction.
That's what it is.
It is. I mean,
it's so old school, like 50s, 60s wrestling. Like, oh, come see the midgets in the matches.
Yeah.
Like, it's
if they're
by '93, they shouldn't be doing that anymore. They should be beyond that.
You know what? I mean, there was times when we would go to 2CW shows and there'd be like short sleeve Samson. Mm-hmm. And no offense to short sleeve Samson, it's just like, why?
You know why. You don't want to say why, but you know why.
Well, yeah, but it's just, I mean...
It's not fair.
Yeah,
it isn't fair. It doesn't hold up well. And anytime you have midget wrestlers, for lack of a better term, either you're doing it to laugh or give people a popcorn break.
I mean, that's the only way I can understand it.
Let's move on from this,
I've also
please.
never understood how or why fans enjoy the Bushwhackers.
Oh, God, yeah, they don't help. They do not help the situation.
I feel bad for the Beverly Brothers, to be honest with you.
They
have a little bit of talent.
I don't like them. They then push the hotline again, and I wonder how well they did in 93, like this WrestleMania hotline. They had to have made some kind of decent money because they promoted it pretty big.
Oh, I'm sure people called in on it.
Yeah. Up next, we got Taker versus Bigelow. And, of course, we got a recap of what happened at the Royal Rumble between Taker and Gonzalez. And I fully expected to see Gonzalez in some form or another here tonight. Like, something's going to happen between these two again to, build up to WrestleMania. We'll find out whether or not that happens. Bam Bam was out first with finally some better gear. Like, he was not in that same shitty gear, thank God.
From the Rumble?
Yeah. And I think he had an appearance on Raw, too, in the same gear that looked horrible. But so he's got that going for him tonight. Taker was right out after him, and both entrances felt pretty rushed. I feel like the show is kind of running short on time. And it keeps happening to Undertaker. Like, they keep cutting his entrance.
Well, I mean, it is a tape show. So maybe the way that it's edited is making it seem like that.
Yeah,
Taker's entrances tend to be a little long anyway, considering how he walks and things of that nature. So.
Right. The two got nose to nose, and I was kind of interested in this one, even though I'm not a fan of either guy. It was jump far and away from what we just saw in the last match, so I kind of was pulled back into it. Taker displayed some smart wrestling at first, outsmarting Bam Bam. And then got right into it with him, laying in some good strikes, a heavy choke in the corner, his tightrope walk arm thing that he does. I was kind of surprised to see Bam Bam getting it kind of took into him so much. It's like up until now, Bam Bam's trying to be pushed as another kind of monster big guy, like, and he does good moves.
Yeah, but, I mean, when he's taking the stuff from Taker, it's not as if he's going down on the first try or anything.
No, but he's not getting much offense in.
Yeah, but he's still kind of like holding his own, though. So he's like, taking it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of... because I haven't noted he's on the... There's a few clothesline attempts, and Bigelow doesn't go down.
Yeah.
He just kind of staggers.
Yeah.
So maybe if he were to go down after the first try, it's kind of like, well, what are you doing?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think they kind of were trying to maintain his appeal in the match.
Oh, that's a good point. We got our first mid-match break here of the show. Fucking I hate when they do that. So we come back, and the two are kind of bouncing around ringside. Bam Bam using a lot of the ringside things to throw Undertaker into. From there, it seemed like no matter what Bam Bam did, he couldn't keep Undertaker down, and that's kind of what the story of the match turned into. Bobby even suggested that he rent a Winnebago and drive over the Undertaker. He's just on a roll tonight.
Hit and run.
Yeah. Bam Bam then decided to go to the top, and again, I could see this being reversed a mile away. I feel like every time Bam Bam goes to hit the headbutt off the top, he misses it. Like the guy rolls out of the way, or like he moves. So I saw that coming here. So, of course, Taker sits up out of the way and follows that up with a chokeslam. And Bam Bam immediately rolled out of the ring and headed to the back, basically no-selling the chokeslam. Because he, like I said, he pretty much left.
Yeah, you're right, because usually when the chokeslam happens, they just lay there.
Yeah.
But he takes it
and immediately rolls out.
Yeah.
I thought the ending felt weird, as basically the match ends with Bam Bam just walking out. I think, though, with that said, Taker did profit from this, even though if it was a small margin with no clear-cut victory here. And I thought Bam Bam looked like a puss walking out. I mean, other than the finish, I was actually starting to get into this match compared to the other ones we've seen on the card. I don't know. It's just that ending sucks.
Well, they have to do it because I don't think you're going to job out Bigelow.
Right. I mean, they're kind of pigeonholed. But really, he walks out of the match?
They've been doing that. They have that going for themselves in a lot of different matches where they can't
do anything.
They can't do a clean finish or or anything of that nature. I thought the match was pretty decent.
I did too.
Aside from the cheap finish that you noted, but it makes sense because you don't want Bigelow losing so early.
Right.
They seemed like it potentially was leading into a really solid match.
I thought so.
And it was keeping my interest. These are two guys I would probably prefer to see wrestling each other at WrestleMania compared to Gonzalez and Taker.
Absolutely.
Although Gonzalez Taker's angle, I guess, has been
maybe
fairly well
hotter, quote unquote. Yeah. Speaking of Giant Gonzalez, he made an appearance here, which again I fully expected, and he basically taunted the Undertaker from the entrance stage, and immediately seeing these two kind of in the same place at the same time again, the crowd was buzzing. Like, there was definitely, like, kind of excitement about this. Officials got in between Undertaker and Gonzalez before anything could happen, of course. But I feel like the fans are genuinely into this. And I don't get it, but hey, good for them.
Well, I think whenever you see a guy who's 7'8" and has the courage to wear a sprayed-on bodysuit, that you're immediately going to be interested in what the hell's going on.
Yeah, probably. You'd be curious as to what that's all about. But yeah, so I think Undertaker did profit here. He needed to, coming off the Royal Rumble and stuff. So he kind of needed this, but again, that finish, I was just like, come on. For me, that doesn't make Bam Bam look good to me at all, I think, but whatever. I would have preferred, put it this way, I would have preferred to see Bam Bam get pinned straight up from the Undertaker than walk out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe having him lose after a fighting effort would be okay.
Something.
Because I think a lot of times, I don't think wrestling fans remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in 93...
he got pinned by the Undertaker.
Yeah, am I going to really care about that in July or even in May or anything? If he's fighting Bret Hart for the world title, am I going to be thinking to myself, oh, well, he lost to Undertaker.
Yeah, so
on
he
March
sucks.
28th, he blows.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't happen.
No.
Just like how oftentimes a guy will lose a match and then somehow the next week or the next night is a number one contender.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I don't think wrestling really has ever had any clear rules or direction.
I agree with you there. I don't like Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East, supposedly, walking out of the match. I thought that was lame. I didn't like that finish at all. It's just felt like no creative on that one. We'll just walk out.
It's like, we'll have two name guys fight each other for 6 minutes and then
just walk out.
Bail on it.
Oh, okay. So that sucked. With that said, we kind of got into the close of the show, and we were sat with Vince and Bobby again at the commentators table, as Vince was basically enticing Bobby about wearing a weasel toga as he ran through the card for WrestleMania 9 coming up. And Bobby closed the segment with getting so worked up about Vince saying he had a tail that Bobby got up on his chair and stuck his ass in Vince's face, asking him to take a good look for that tail. Bobby was in rare form tonight, the whole card. He really helped make it watchable between all the stuff he said and then finishing it off with basically putting his rear end in Vince's face. Big props to that. Thank God for Bobby on commentary half the time, man. Other than that, we faded into a music video about respect for Bret Hart.
Aretha Franklin's respect.
Yeah, literally her song, which felt kind of like a make good on the company's part for basically shoving him into the background over the last few months. Like, oh, don't worry, we didn't forget about you. Here's your music video.
Yeah.
If I was Bret Hart, I would have fucking been pissed about that, but whatever. It was a cheese fest, like you said, with Aretha Franklin's Respect playing over highlights of Bret's career leading up to WrestleMania. As silly as it was a nice reminder of why Bret is the champion in the first place, because he is damn good. Like, it's easy to forget all of that as a wrestling fan. All in all, Bob, I can't say that I was an actual fan of this show. I think it's funny for all the moments we got on this, and there's some moments, let me tell you. But I thought for sure it would have been more enjoyable as a direct lead into WrestleMania. And I just felt there was just a little bit too much filler with guys who won't even be on the WrestleMania card. Most of the matches were lackluster, and I'm personally sick of seeing the same footage we've seen for weeks and months in some cases to kind of carry the feuds to WrestleMania. A lot of it's a lot of rehash and kind of the same old shit we've been seeing. No new developments in a while for most of these feuds.
Well, I think that's a fair statement. So you're saying you didn't like it over?
I didn't like it, and you know what? For this one, I did watch it over the course of 2 sittings. For this show specifically, which I've never done in the series, so maybe that even kind of points to this one kind of dragged on a little bit for me.
Well, I mean, I did the same thing. I didn't watch it all in one sitting, but aside from the 6-man tag match, I thought it was okay. It was fine for what it was serving to do. I didn't think it was a waste of time, just because I mean, so we have Savage and Yoko. It's
probably the most important match on the card.
Yeah. So you start off with that. So maybe you might forget about it. I'm not saying you forgot about it, but
right.
As a viewer,
you're like,
oh, that happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a big match. This match with Bigelow Taker is okay.
Pretty good. Better than I expected.
Yeah, and then all the build with Shawn and Tatanka.
Not bad.
Serves a purpose. Bad. I don't think there were segments that really didn't belong. Kamala Kimchi, that kind of comes to an end. So you're finishing a feud. And then you have Money Incorporated, arguably the team in the main event of WrestleMania, having a quick squash match. Things like that. I don't hate it, maybe, I guess, as much as you do. I thought it was okay. They touched upon almost all the feuds. The Giant Gonzalez Taker confrontation at the end. You're like, oh, shit, these guys are going to go. Okay, wait, I got to wait a week.
I wanted more. What
else would you have wanted?
Well, if this is the lead into WrestleMania, I wanted more. I wanted more direct involvement with the feuds. I mean, again, okay, so, you get the Undertaker Gonzalez, fine. You get Money Inc. is put over, great. I want more of a direct. Why can't Money Inc. and the Mega Maniacs or whatever have a direct face-off? Like, why can't they have a verbally sparring match? Or why can't, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's so much roundabout. And again, nothing with Luger and Perfect. It's just there's so many things that have been left too open to be WrestleMania in the next week. It's just they're relying, again, like I said, they're relying on a lot of stuff that we've seen the same attacks and confrontations and briefcase smashes for the last, I don't even know how many weeks.
7 weeks or something. That's
yeah, it's like I want something new every time. So by the time WrestleMania runs up and is here, I need to watch every match on this card because I am emotionally invested in every match on this card. Yeah. And to me, I don't feel like I'm there yet, and WrestleMania is the next show.
I mean, I'm not there either.
Yeah.
Because I totally get what you're saying. But as for this show, though,
as a standalone show, it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a waste of an hour and a half.
I thought there was a lot of filler to be a lead-in show to WrestleMania.
Well, okay, so the context of it, though, I mean, every match, I believe, has guys involved with WrestleMania.
Yes, but then there's guys who aren't. Like, I wouldn't even have featured guys who aren't on the card. Why would you? Why waste a spot?
Why are you going to have a Tatanka versus Lex Luger match or something?
Well, you don't have to.
You're gonna,
but why can't we have a Lex Luger, Mr. Perfect pose down or something like that, to where it's a direct link to, okay, now I'm ready to see these guys fight at WrestleMania.
Could you imagine Mr. Perfect in a pose down?
Well, whatever. They can make something work. You have Luger challenge him to a pose down that night, and maybe Perfect accepts just to kind of get his hands on it.
Does it attack him or something?
Yeah. Something. Give us something.
I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. It's just I don't.
It could have
been. I thought it was okay.
It was okay. I just, and maybe that's on me. Maybe I was going in with a little bit too high of hopes for this one, because compared to some of the Raws, I mean, this show blows them away. There's no question.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm comparing.
Yeah, there's no question there.
Yeah.
So I think as a special, it did its job. Do I think they could have done a better job? Yeah, absolutely. I do.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely. But I don't know. I think overall, I was just kind of like, I was disappointed coming out of this one. I was expecting a little bit more.
Yeah, compared to the Raws and stuff leading into it with the promotion.
Yeah.
This is far and away better. And that's fair. kind of basing it off of.
I'll give you that.
All right, so that means that we wrapped up here in March to WrestleMania 9.
Mm-hmm.
And our next show is finally, arguably, the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania 9.
The biggest IcoPod episode ever.
That's a better marketing approach.
WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, I mean, we've ran down the card before, and we talked about it, but when we do WrestleMania 9, we'll probably do a little bit more of a preview or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or just get right into the show. We'll see.
Yeah.
What we decide on.
Also, too, so going back to like when we first started this week's episode, at this point, so wrapping up the March WrestleMania, it was probably around, I would say, for me, close to 11:30 at night, and I went right into WrestleMania 9 at 11:30 at night.
You watched them back to back?
Back to back.
Wow.
Well, remember, I split this one up in 2 sittings. So
Yeah,
I watched
okay.
the first half a couple of nights before that. I watched the second half of March to WrestleMania. Again, I was probably done around 11:30. And then from 11:30 to about 2:45 a.m., I sat and watched WrestleMania 9.
I mean, you're watching almost 4 hours of wrestling, and the way that you watch it, though, you're pausing. Oh, again.
Yeah. So bear with me next week, folks. We're going to do our damnedest. I'm going to do my damnedest. Because I know I was exhausted, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what I thought. And I stick by what I thought, and I stick by my notes. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it.
Well, I'm really curious to see if we have different opinions. I'm starting to think maybe we do, because we don't talk about it before. And whatever we talk about on the air is what we talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so that wraps up the March to WrestleMania 9. As always, you can catch us on Facebook at IcoPod, and you can send us an email at icopodcast@gmail.com if you want to share your thoughts on build up to WrestleMania 9 and things like that.
Yeah, if you want to be as cool as Mike Campbell, send us some stuff. We'll read it on air, and we'll talk about it on air, because we think that's cool. We love interacting.
And he's somebody that's giving a perspective of
he watched it.
He watched it live.
Exactly.
So I don't know how old he is, but
right.
I'm assuming maybe close to teenager.
Appropriate age.
Yeah, to remember it, because back then I was like 4.
Right.
So
and I wasn't born.
Right. So we don't have that same perspective, I guess.
Right.
So, as always, you've been listening to IcoPod.
You gotta hear it.